Liberei o áudio, liberei a tela.
Okay, there we go. It takes a few minutes. Now. There you go. There you go. There you go. It takes a few minutes. Well, welcome to our chat today. Thank you very much for being here. With us today, we have Sarah. There we go. It takes a few minutes. Now with her, there you go. Sarah Kaufman. She is the Vice Consul from U.S. Embassy in Brasilia, and she'll be here with us. Thank you for being here with us, Sarah. Thank you very much. We are really honored to have you here for this chat about one of the most important African Americans activists, civil rights activist, Rosa Parks. So, thank you very much, teachers, for being here with us today, and students. Okay, I hope all the students get in to talk with us tonight, and we are really honored to be here. So, Sarah, now it's with you. Okay.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. I want to say thank you to Teacher Kayla, our Cultural Affairs Coordinator at CCBEU, and for our teachers who are allowing us to take some of their class time. Very grateful for it. Yeah, I'm waiting for the video to catch up a little bit. But just want to say I really love talking to language students. First thing for the students in the room, can you tell me how many years you've been studying English? You just chatted in there, so I see. I've heard we have some real experts in these classes today. And I know English can be hard to learn, so I want to congratulate you. Okay, keep going. All right. So I want to get started and just explain a little bit. You may know some already, but I want to explain a little bit about Black History Month. So just a second here. I'm going to open up. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you. Can you see that okay? Hope so. But many of you know that Black History Month occurs each year in the United States during the month of February, and it's to celebrate the contributions of extraordinary Black Americans like Rosa Parks, who have not always been given the recognition they deserve. We celebrate Black History Month in February because both President Abraham Lincoln and abolitionist and freedom fighter Frederick Douglass celebrated their birthdays in February. So as you may know, more than 150 years ago in 1863, during the US Civil War, President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, and that freed slaves in the southern states of the United States at the time. Frederick Douglass, you see a picture of him there, he was one of the advocates who directly influenced Abraham Lincoln to end slavery. Douglass was a former slave who escaped slavery and through incredible genius and efforts, later became an author, a newspaper editor, and even a diplomat, a US diplomat to the Republic of Haiti in 1889. It's quite an extraordinary, extraordinary life. We should have a whole nother call about Frederick Douglass. But one important fact, and something I really love about Frederick Douglass, is that he not only worked to end slavery in the United States, but he was also a very strong advocate for women's rights and women's suffrage, or the right to vote. And that led the way for future civil rights advocates like Rosa Parks. So I've got some photos there for you, some important photos from American history. honestly, I'm so very curious to hear your thoughts about the life of Rosa Parks. She's like Teacher Kayla mentioned, she's honestly one of the most famous civil rights advocates in the U.S. She grew up in a time in the U.S. when Black Americans were treated horribly with extreme cruelty, and their basic rights were often denied. So as you saw in the movie we watched, she suffered indignities and humiliations every day. And eventually she decided to take a stand and join the NAACP. So NAACP, I don't know if you've heard of that before, but that's a really well-known and historic civil rights organization in the United States. It stands for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. And so she joined the NAACP. You might remember from the movie when she was there working as a secretary, and she joined the movement. Now, that day in, I think it was in December 1955, I want to remind you, if you may have heard about Emmett Till in the past, but I think it's important to understand what was in her mind and what the country was going through, just a few months before she took that stand on the bus. Emmett Till was just a child, frankly, and he was a Black American child who was murdered by a group of white men who were tried, and then charges were dismissed. And this was just so horrible and so unbelievable to people in the United States, and especially to Black Americans, that I think this is probably part of what was in her mind that day in December in 1955, when she said, no, you know what? I've been bullied. I've been beaten down so many times, but I'm not going to give up my seat today. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to do what you tell me, because it's wrong. And, that day when she did that, she got arrested, which is horrible. She was this lovely Christian woman who, had a job she went to, married, and living her life the best she could. And then she ended up in this situation where she's arrested as if she were a criminal for just doing the right thing. But almost overnight, she became a hero. Across the country, and again, especially to Black Americans who identified with her frustration and admired her for risking not only her job, but also her personal safety and the safety of her family. But what she did was brilliant, and the movement that she was a part of really was one of the most effective social justice movements in the United States. Just a year later, after her effort there, and after she was arrested in 1955, through the work of NAACP and other organizations, there was a court case brought to the highest court in the United States, to the U.S. Supreme Court, where they ruled that these laws segregating or separating white people and Black people on the buses, that those laws were unconstitutional. So I don't want to talk too much, but I'm very curious to hear what you thought about the film. And I was thinking I would just open it up a little bit. I have some questions for you, and I hope that maybe you can just put your questions or your answers in the chat, and we can talk through them together. So I guess my first question, I wanted to know if there was anything surprising to you, or something you didn't know, or something you learned in the film that was unexpected. You can just chat. Let me see, hopefully. Let's see. So let's see, who do we have there? I see we have Carlos and Isabella.
Yeah, Giovanna's group, Flavio's group, We have people from Monte Carmelo, CCBEU too. Thanks for coming, guys. So, who's going to ask the first question or mention something about the movie? You can write on the chat box, please.
See, I think we may have a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we just wait.
Okay.
There's a question from Lucas, teacher Giovanna's student. How long was she stuck?
How long was she stuck?
Yeah, I think he wanted to ask for how long she was in jail for that boycott. Is that right, Lucas?
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure of the exact amount of time, but I know they worked hard to get her freed. They paid, you can pay to the court to have someone released. It's called bail while they wait for their trial. I think one thing that's important to know is, so I think she was arrested on the weekend, and that following Monday, or maybe it was Friday or Saturday, and that following Monday, they started the Montgomery bus boycott. So, and that's what continued for a year or so, where people said, you know what, African Americans are 75% of the customers on this bus, and we're being treated badly. You know what, we're not going to give you our money unless you start treating us right. Mm-hmm. So that started almost immediately. I don't know the exact number of days she was in jail, but I imagine
she was about 24 hours on that day. When she said no, she was there for about 24 hours in jail.
Uh-huh.
And people start boycotting, and they had to free her, set her free.
Hmm.
Oh, very good question, Isabella.
Isabella asked, how did her husband contribute to the civil rights movement? Well, one, he supported his wife. Yeah. He supported his wife, allowed her to go outside the home and be part of these movements. You know, that time in the United States during the 1950s, women, in some marriages, women weren't even allowed to work after they got married. She was working, and not only was she working, she was volunteering with the civil rights group. So I think he contributed by being a feminist, by being a feminist in a time when not a lot of men were. So I have a question for the students. And you may know I'm new to Brazil. I've only been here for a couple of weeks now. And I was curious. You know, I know that I read that slavery ended in, was it 1888 here in Brazil? But I imagine, just like in the United States, even though slavery had ended, there were still long struggles for civil rights and basic human rights. And I was wondering if there was a similar movement or something that happened here in Brazil that the film reminded me of. Yes, that's right. Fiona, she said that she could have been murdered. Absolutely. It was very dangerous what she did. It seems a simple act just to say, no, I'm not going to move my seat. But that time in the United States, Black people were murdered for much less. And so it was incredibly brave. And I think it's interesting also to think about Rosa, you know, she's the same age as me when she did this. So she was about 42 and about 5'3". So not a very big woman, but was able to stand up to not only the police, to all the people on the bus and all these others, you know, I think, and, you know, just her small stature and, you know, just sort of emphasizes again how brave she was.
Yeah. Flavia's students are asking about how Black History Month is celebrated in schools in the US and if it is something really important.
Yes. Yeah, Black History Month is celebrated in all the schools. We have lessons at every grade level, and there's often events, sometimes performances, music, dance. You know, Black Americans have contributed in every area, in every way in our society. And so I think, you know, when Black History Month started, there was a recognition that Black American stories weren't told in the same way. They weren't mentioned in the history books the way white Americans were. And so the point of Black History Month is to draw attention to these stories and to highlight heroes, basically, who have influenced our entire country. And so, again, some of the schools, people will dress up as some of the famous civil rights leaders. They'll recite poetry. They'll do plays and all sorts of things.
Very nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
Read books and watch films like you guys did in your class too.
Yeah, we have something a little bit similar. That is, if I'm not wrong, it happens in September, Dia da Consciência Negra here in Brazil.
Yes, I've heard about that.
It's something that celebrates our Black History Month, right? Mateus Lago is asking about her attitude itself, Rosa Parks' attitude. If she had not taken this attitude, do you think things today would be the same?
Yeah, I think, you know, sometimes there's a time in history when a lot of different things come together at the same time and people are inspired to make a change. You know, we've seen this in the past year in the United States too, with George Floyd, you know, inspiring the Black Lives Matter movement. And so I think at that time, Emmett Till and that horribly violent murder of a child, it inspired Rosa Parks, but not only Rosa Parks.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you know, we were talking just before about Claudette Colvin, who was just a 15-year-old girl who had also been arrested for refusing to give up her seat on a bus, maybe some months before Rosa Parks. And so I think there were many people who were so tired of being treated badly that it just sort of, it reached a level. And Rosa was there at that moment. And I think she inspired a wide range of people and influenced a wide range of people because she was such a, you know, remarkable person. She was working, you know, a well-respected member of her community. And so I think she maybe had even more influence than others did.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some new people joining there, Anna Luisa.
Yeah.
So what about, who are some of who are some of the Afro-Brazilian heroes that you guys have? Who are the people you study about on, is it Dia de Consciência
Negra.
Negra? It's a holiday. Huh. And so are there people you study and learn about in school like Rosa Parks, or is it similar in that way here? No. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting because I'm sure, I know, for example, I've been reading books. I hope I'll pronounce her name correctly, but I've been reading a few books from Jamila Ribeiro.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote a book I read recently called Pequeno Manual Anti-Racista, and also Quem Tem Medo do Feminismo Negro. And she's talking about what it's like to grow up Afro-Brazilian and her experience as an academic and teaching. But if you guys, I'm not sure if you've read her books or seen her speak, but I enjoyed her book very much. Kind of an introduction. Machado de Assis. Okay.
Yes, Machado de Assis. It's one of our most important writers, and he was an African, African Brazilian guy, and he had contributed a lot for our story, the changes in our society, because he was a writer in that time where Black people were very discriminated. I mean, very, very discriminated, right? Right after the slavery had finished, he came up and he wrote and became one of the most important writers in our literature.
Maybe similar to Frederick Douglass.
Yeah.
Someone a little bit extraordinary. Zumbi, I've read about. Zumbi read about the leader of the Quilombo, right?
Yes.
Who managed to fight off the Portuguese, or at least tried to fight off the Portuguese. Are there movies about Zumbi or other Afro-Brazilian leaders?
Yeah. Yeah, Zumbi dos Palmares is one of the movies that portrays the life of the slavery in Brazil and the movement to free these people.
So I wanted to, I'm not sure if you all have watched other movies about civil rights in the U.S. There's a few movies that came out recently that I think you would really like, because it seems like you must have very advanced English to be able to understand the movie we watched, the Rosa Parks movie. But some other movies you might be interested in. There's one called Selma, and another called Hidden Figures. Maybe we can add those in the chat. They could look them up later.
We had our last Black History Month last year about Selma, about the movie Selma, and they have watched it, and we have done activities about it, and it was really, really interesting.
Hidden Figures is a more modern one that was maybe around the time of Rosa Parks' life. That might be interesting too, to give you a sense of what it was like.
Yeah.
Carlos Gomez, Giovanna is recommending as well. I'm taking notes. So
Yeah.
you all are studying English online, and I'm studying Portuguese online. So I'll be looking up these movies later.
Yeah, we also have Luis Gama.
Let's see. Oh, uh-huh. Okay. Goncalves Dias. Who? I don't know who Goncalves Dias is. Who is that?
Gonçalves Dias. José do Patrocínio.
Luis Gama.
Yeah. We have a very important musician that calls Pixinguinha. He was a musician.
Oh. I'll look in the chat there. I'm taking notes here with my pen.
So we had a lot of contributions in our music, especially music and artists, and that contributed a lot, the writers in our culture.
Absolutely. And I think there are a lot of similarities between Brazil and the United States in that way. I think one difference is the population. I think aren't Afro-Brazilian more a majority here in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. So I guess I wanted to ask everybody also if they have a famous or a favorite movie about African Americans, or maybe a favorite African American singer from the United States, or someone they admire.
Let's wait.
Yes, I think we got delayed.
Don't be shy, guys. Someone you admire that is African American that you admire, that you heard about.
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm. There's a very good movie about Malcolm X. I'd recommend to you. Canção do Exílio. Exílio. Yeah. Okay. I'll look that up. Thank you. Lots of good ideas for my studies here. I think Mississippi and Shama. Interesting. Oprah, yeah.
Yeah, I think she does a really good
yes.
action.
Yeah, she's influenced the world, honestly. Muhammad Ali, for sure. Yeah.
I want to try to do something here and let's see if it works.
Okay.
Right? I want to to let you guys be on the screen and show your faces to Sarah and say, wave goodbye, say hello, wave goodbye to her. If I allow you to be in the chat, because we had to move to YouTube because it wasn't possible to have everyone. So, the link for our meet is there. So if you want to go to Meet and let us see you guys, it would be nice.
Yeah, it would be very fun for me.
So we can take pictures, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Sarah wants to see you.
I want to see you.
Sarah, I think we need to move to Mosaic Model.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they can be there.
Okay. Do they have the link?
Yes, I've just put it on the chat box, in the chat box.
All right, great.
Can you see the link, guys?
I don't see it yet. Maybe.
It's not in the chat box yet?
Not yet. Let me see if I can reload it. Not sure.
Bob, you can just come in and show your students.
Oh, no, they don't have a camera.
You can do it in your cell phone. Bob.
Okay.
You can use your cell phone. Or they can use their cell phone.
Mercedes Baptista, okay.
Yeah, very nice. So she's anxious. Sarah is anxious to see you guys.
Oh, it's okay.
So we can thank you her and say hi or bye.
Or you can send me some emojis.
Yeah. Sarah has been here for just a couple of weeks, so she's not very familiar with our lifestyle, and she's kind of interested in learning the most she can from our meeting today.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. Thank you. Thanks for letting me join.
So you can just go to the Meet Google, this link that is on the screen, on the chat box, in the chat box, so we can talk. We can see you. Mandei.
I think.
Pois é, até agora não apareceu?
Let's see, Amar Elo. Okay.
Por que não apareceu até agora? Até agora não apareceu, eu coloquei 3 vezes.
Okay, Amarelo is another one you recommend to me? Okay, great. Amarelo, Emicida, okay.
Vocês assistiram o vídeo? Conseguiram ver o link? I don't think they can see the link. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think it might be that there's not a camera there on their computer. Maybe that's the problem. But that's okay. That's all right. I'll have to meet them a different day.
Yeah, sure. So, is that it?
Oh, wait, there comes the link there.
Ah, aí, ó, agora foi. Por que o meu não foi? There you go. The link is there. So, if you please come in our room, Google room, we can say hello to Sarah and she can see your faces.
Oh, yay, I'm starting to see everybody.
Yes, that's nice. Let's say thank you and see you next time.
Thank you, everybody. Let's see. Oh, a bit.
Come on, guys. Don't be shy. Let me see you.
Let's see. Oh, there's a few. Deborah, Brenda, hi.
Hi. Let's say thank you to Sarah. And
Thank you very much, Sarah. Enjoy a lot.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks, Brenda. It's nice to see your faces, so I know who I was talking to. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Let's see. I think Junia is there too. Wonderful. Well, how is the sound delayed a little bit? It seemed like maybe it was hard to hear me sometimes. Was it okay?
I can listen you very well. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. I know some of you have class, I guess, starting now. Is that right?
yes, that's right. Some of them are having class. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, you, all the students that were present here today, all the teachers that hi Vinicius, that were present today, Deborah, Junia, Brenda. Thank you very much for
You're
participating.
welcome.
Show your faces, right? As we said, Sarah has just arrived in our country, and she really prompted herself to be here today with you guys. So it was really, really important for us to having her here with us. So thank you very much. I have no words to thank you guys. Thank the teachers, thank you the students for participating, and we hope to have Sarah with her and other opportunities that we can share and talk a little bit more about American culture.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for all the recommendations. I'll be looking all of those up as soon as we hang up. All right. Well, enjoy your class. So nice to meet everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. I'll talk to you later, Teacher Kayla, okay?
Eu esqueci de tirar a foto com os meninos na tela.